One of the most important points of scaling a freelance business is automating processes. And it staggers me because most of the time when I meet freelancers, I look at whatever processes they have in the back end. It's a complete mess or there's nothing at all. And I used to be there too. I used to barely have any systems in place, apart maybe from an invoicing software. That was it. And that was one of the points that kept me broke. So for those who don't know me, my name is Luis Key, and I went from being a regular freelancer to making over $1 million in profit as a one-man agency. And I'm sharing exactly how I did it, giving everything away for free on my YouTube channel and really giving you the mindset shifts and the exact step-by-step process that I have been using to scale my freelance business, because I'm so staggered by how little money most freelancers are actually making. It's for me the start of a revolution where being a freelancer is no longer seen as making a typical income, which is currently the case, but actually a career where you can become rich, scale to having an agency, and thinking beyond what was thought possible before. I'm going to be covering the importance of automation and building processes within your freelance business. So as always, it all comes down to the restrictive mindset and restrictive ideas that people have of reality when it comes to being a freelancer. And me, myself, I had this blockage where it's almost I wanted to do everything myself. Anytime I had a task, it would make me feel successful. It would make me feel fulfilled because I had something to do. I was busy, which means my freelance work was going well. So I wasn't able to think of how can I limit the amount of time that I work. Instead, I just wanted to do everything myself, every task, even if it was repetitive or if it didn't bring value to the business. And that was because I had a very bad mindset and I wasn't thinking like a one-man agency. So everything from the onboarding process to even the delivery of the service, I did every single step hand by hand, and it cost me a huge amount of time. Because yes, I know that for many people, and I know that this was very true for myself, at the end of the day, if I didn't really hustle or work hard or, do all these different tasks, I would feel like I didn't work. I would feel like a failure. I would not feel fulfilled from my day. So I would continue to fill in some of these gaps. And that was the first mindset shift, was detaching myself from the notion of working an amount of hours or doing an amount of tasks and the notion of success. Because today I work a lot less than what I used to at that time, and I make 10 times more money. So once you accept that time does not equal money and you detach this notion, then you're able to kind of feel good, having leverage, and making more than what you actually put in, which is obviously the ultimate goal. This is when the mindset shift happens, where you're gonna think, okay, this was my day. What are the things that were actually critical to the progress of my business, and what was completely unnecessary or wasn't essential to the satisfaction of the customer? And actually, when I look at the diaries or the calendars of most freelancers I speak with, I'm staggered by how little they actually spend on the important stuff. So really the first step is going and looking at these different places where you're wasting your time, and really you have to go and think, can I eliminate this, or can I create a process for it, or can I delegate it? And once you start doing this for every single aspect of your business, you're gonna free up so much time, and you're gonna feel so stupid of all the different time you used to spend before. And once you've understood this, there's actually another level of mindset shift, is not just seeing the direct solution to, systemizing something, but going beyond this. Because I'll give you an example. You might think currently that it's absolutely essential to have an onboarding call for this customer in order to deliver a good project for the freelance. By having this framework, you could think, okay, I'm not going to delegate the call because that's the last thing I can delegate. But what if I told you there was a tool, a way to create an automated call with people using Video Ask, which allows you to basically conduct an interview and a profound conversation with your customers on a completely automated basis. So to give you the exact story, I used to have an onboarding call with every single customer, and it was so important for my customers to see my face, to get to know me, to speak to me, and to have a connection with me. So I thought, no way I can delegate this, no way I can processize it. So this mindset shift kind of condemned me to making onboarding calls every single day for the rest of my life. And today I have more than 30 customers coming in every single day. So I would need, on a 1 hour call, I would need to spend 30 hours doing these calls. See, and when you scale a business to this point, these type of things are impossible. So instead, what I did, I looked on the internet for ways to create this effect, to create this connection without actually having to do the call myself. So I found a tool called Video Ask, as I just said, which basically I can record myself asking a multitude of different questions, and the customer sees that video and then can answer either with a video or with text. Of course, I want text because, if you want to scale a business, you need to have everything in text from your customers. If you have to rewatch a video every time you have to deliver something, it's going to be a mess. So privilege text always. That's a random tip I put in right there. And so now they speak to me, and every time they answer a different question, it gives them a different video of me, which means I recorded maybe for one day, last year, 30, 40, 50 different videos of me. It took me a lot of time, took me a lot of work with many different questions in order to go in depth and really feel like the customer is getting a proper conversation with me. And I shot this in one day, and now every single day 30 people have hour-long conversations with me without me having to do absolutely anything. And so these type of systems, they go beyond what is possible, because oftentimes people's brain works in a way where they have a problem and they have an array of solutions they are aware of, which is like, okay, if you do invoicing, you can pay someone to do that invoicing, right? And so they connect these two dots, invoicing, pay someone to connect this invoicing. But instead, you want to go beyond that knowledge you have and what you think these solutions are, go beyond it, research or pay someone to help you with new ways of having these solutions. This is why I pay some people, $4,000 for just small missions on how to, think beyond or think differently on this or this problem. And it actually yields, incredible results for me. So to come back to the main point, if you start thinking differently and finding solutions to this, you're going to find solutions to virtually every step of the business. Now, I know what you might say right here is, okay, well, clients pay me for my work. 90% of the time I spend is actually on delivering the work. So what do I care about optimizing 10%? So first of all, this is completely untrue, and we have a skewed perception of ourselves and how much time we're actually spending doing the work. If it actually takes you a huge amount of work, there's another issue which I'll be covering on another video, which is speed. And a lot of the speed you can get actually comes from understanding well the customer. If you understand well the customer, you can literally do any service from a web design to a logo design to anything in an incredibly fast amount of time. Because actually for logo designers out there, maybe you might spend 2-3 days making a logo, but think of the actual time you're drawing and executing that design. It's a tiny percentage, and a big part of it actually comes from thinking, giving ideas, going beyond, and all that can actually be thought differently and productivized in a way that still remains creative, but eliminates 60 to 70% of the time it takes you to do it. So once you've taken off that 10% of all the onboarding and 60-70% of all this removable time you're doing the work, you're only left with about 37% of what you previously did. But of course you can go well beyond. And me, it came to a point where right now I'm literally working 1% what I used to work, because even the customer delivery is outsourced and I have contractors that are doing it for me. So creating systems and processes is not just gonna give you time, it's gonna set the foundations and all the back end for you to